Maartin has been treating us well, but it's time to take the 30-minute ferry over to St. Barth's for a day of luxury and relaxation. Island is beautiful. We have an amazing lunch at Gypsy, and the food tastes even better when Ethan loses the gamble for the bill. We're back to exploring the island. Enough fun, we're back at the WSOP, firing a bullet in the $400 bounty event. If you guys are in the Phoenix or El Paso area, come out to my meetup games. On June 12th, I'll be at Gila Lone Butte from 4 to 8 p.m. And on June 13th, House of Kings in the afternoon. I look forward to seeing you guys there. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to another video. As you can see, we got some sun today, but after the sun goes down, we gotta play some poker. We're into the Black Chip Bounty event number 8. It's for a ring. $400 is the buy-in with a $20 dealer appreciation add-on for 3K more chips. That means it's a $420 buy-in. Let's go. That's got to be worth something there. Real quickly, wanted to give a shout out to the sponsor for this video, pokercoaching.com. They put me into a few events here, this being one of them. And I've been using their site to get better at tournaments and hopefully not brick out this $420 entry. But they also want to help you guys get into some events. So they're giving away some money. The link will be down below. You guys can get a discount on any of the packages. You can also just sign up for free and start a trial, get better. Be registered to get some free money and get yourself into some fun events. So yeah, click the link down below, make yourself better at poker and maybe win some free money. And now let's see if I can spin this buy-in up. Let's go. Thank you, Poker Coaching. First hand of the night, I looked down at Ace-10 of hearts from the low jack. I have 18K in my stack at the 200, 400, 400 level, and I raise it up to $1,200 over a limper. Only the limper to my right puts in the call, so we see a flop of 664. When she checks it over to me, I go for a standard c-bet here of 1,000 chips. And when she folds, we're off to a good start here in this $400 bounty event, 1 for 1 on the night. Looking to keep the momentum going, we look down at Ace-Queen of clubs from the button. The low jack opens it up to 1,100, and the cutoff now puts in the call. Not going to be flatting here. I 3-bet to 4K, and only the small blind cold calls, so definitely an interesting line so far. And we're off heads up to a flop which comes Jack 8-7 with 1 club. When the action checks to me, I decide to check behind here. Given the small blind's cold call has my brain in a little bit of a pickle, I check behind looking for a good card on the turn, which doesn't come. It's the 3 of spades. So now when the small blind decides to bet into me for 9K, basically a pot-sized bet, I take that as a sign of strength and just muck my cards, wave the white flag, and that brings us to the next hand. We look down at King 10 of spades, and I raise it up to 1,200. I'm in the low jack, and the button and the big blind both put in the call. So going 3 ways to the flop in between 2 opponents, which comes Ace-7-3 rainbow. Not exactly smashing this flop. The big blind checks it over to me, and usually I'd go for a check here, but for some reason I decided to bet 1,000 chips, and only the big blind calls. So we're going heads up in position to a turn. Looking for a king, queen, jack, or any spade would be ideal on the turn card, so we can continue barreling, which is exactly what comes. It comes the 7 of spades. When the big blind checks it over to me, I probably should be barreling this card. Although if you think about it, what is he calling our bet on the flop with? There's really no draws, so he either has to have an ace or a 7, both of which have us beat. So I actually really like my check back on this turn, given the fact the board paired. Looking for a spade on the river, which doesn't come. It comes the king of clubs. Do we go for a bet here on the river? I think it'd be pretty thin, given the fact he either has a 7 or an ace, and if he does have a weird hand like pocket 5s or pocket 6s, there's no way he's calling a bet here. So given the fact I don't think I can get called by worse, I decide to check behind. I'm the last person to put in pots into the middle. That's the rule here in St. Maartin. I have to show first, unfortunately, so I turn over my cards and he mucks. So good news for us, we're gonna take down that 7K chip pot. Next hand, Jack 9 of hearts here from the +1 position, and I start by opening it up to 1,500. Small blind and the big blind both call. We're going 3 ways to the flop, which comes Ace-6-5 with 2 hearts, and the action checks over to me. Going for a standard c-bet here of 1,500, which is exactly what I do, and only the small blind puts in the call heads up to the turn, which finally gives us a coveted pair. It comes a 9 of clubs. Now with some showdown value, when the opponent checks it over to me, I have a pair and a flush draw. Let's check behind here and see what the river card brings in. Comes the 6 of clubs. Doesn't improve us anymore, and the small blind now rips it all in for 11k effective. It's an overbet. I really would have preferred to see a heart on the river. Strange line from the opponent, but given the fact that I blocked some of his heart draws here, he's going to be more weighted towards value, and I'm not trying to put my entire stack at risk here with just one pair of 9s. So reluctantly, I fold my cards. We're down to 11k in our stack. We're on life support, and we need some help. And the poker gods answer our prayers with pocket kings. Great spot for us. I'm in the big blind at the 300, 600, 600 blind level. The +1 jams it all in now for 13k. Dream spot for us, so when it folds to me, I obviously put in the call for less. Gonna be in a great spot here unless he has aces, which he does not. Ace queen offsuit is in rough shape, sir. Let's go off to a run out. Hoping to get that coveted double up here. The flop comes 10, 8, 3 with 2 clubs. We both have a club in our hand, so I'm not worried about that. What is the turn card? It comes a jack of clubs. Like I said, not worried about the clubs, but it looks like he just picked up a gutter to Broadway. Good thing I blocked 2 of them. Wrong. It comes the king of diamonds. How does he back into Broadway and giving us the set? Disgusting river card there. And just like that, we are out of the $400 event. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Alright guys, first buy-in, not so good. Kind of gross way to go out there. We make our set on the river and then get coolered by Broadway. No worries though, 420 more American dollars going back into this prize pool. Remember to click that link down below for a free chance for you guys to get into a tournament like this from pokercoaching.com. Let's just get right back into the hands. Haven't been running so great here in St. Martin, but we're going to turn that around right now. Let's go. Back into the tournament we go, $420 more going into the prize pool. I sit down at table 3, seat 8, hoping this is the table for me. First hand I look down at ace 5 of spades from the hijack, and I open it up to 2k. The button and the small blind both put in the call. We're off 3 ways to a flop, which gives us top pair. Comes ace 6 3 with 2 clubs. Small blind checks it over to me in between 2 opponents. I decide to go for a bet here of 2.4k, around the fourth the size of the pot. Button gets out of the way, the small blind calls. Interesting development, we're off to a turn. Does not improve our hand, we still just have top pair when the 8 of hearts comes in, and the small blind checks it over to me. With the obvious front door club draw out there, and 4-5 also having an open-ended straight draw, there's 14.8k in the middle, and I go for an all-in of 10.6. I really like my bet here. Puts the opponent to the test and maybe could get him to fold a little bit better, like ace 7 or ace 9. And sure enough, he does muck his card, so we're going to take down that money there and build our chip stack up into this next hand. Next hand, pocket 8s here at the 500 1k blind level, and I open it up to 3k. My left shoves all in for 12.5k, and I'm not going to be folding for a little bit more here. We put in the call, looking to bust an opponent, and keep in mind there also is a $100 bounty chip available for us to win. With a little bit of extra value there, I put in the call, and the opponent turns over pocket jacks in a rough spot here. And the flop doesn't help us out one bit. It comes ace, ace, king, 28k pot. We're going to need to see an 8, but that doesn't come. It comes a 6 of clubs, but the river comes the 8 of hearts. Bang, we river a boat. We're going to bust that opponent, getting his 12.5k chips, but also more importantly, getting the $100 bounty from him as well. Finally, something going well for us here in St. Martin. At the 500 1k blind level, I look down at queen jack offsuit from the big blind. Under the gun opens it up to 2500, and I put in the call, looking for an advantageous flop, which may be what we get. King jack 5 giving us second pair. I check it over to the small blind, and he puts in a bet of 3k. Not going to be folding a pair here. I put in the call, bringing in the deuce of diamonds on the turn, and I check it over to him for a second time. The action goes check check on the turn. I'm liking my odds in this hand, and the river comes the 4 of spades. I decide to block bet into him here for 1500 chips. Sometimes it makes opponents do weird things. That's exactly what happens here when he rips it all in for 22k. Not going to be calling a 22k bet here. I just mucked my cards. If he would have raised it to like 6 or 7k, maybe we could think about it, but he's going to take down that 16.5k pot. We need to build a little bit of momentum here in the next hand where we look down at queen 8 of diamonds. Still at 500, 1K, 1K. The low jack opens it up to 3.2. I'm in the big blind and the small blind calls. Obviously, I'm going to complete here for like another 2K. So when the flop comes 8-6 deuce, we're liking our chances in this hand. 3 ways we have top pair. Small blind and myself check it over to the low jack. Goes for a half pot size bet of 5.6K. Not going to be calling queen 8 of diamonds to fold when we make top pair with a decent kicker. Putting in the call here, which brings in the turn. The king of diamonds giving us a little bit more equity here with our diamond draw as well. I check it over to opponent for a second time, but unfortunately he checks behind. I think a check raise might have been the move if he bets like something like 7 or 8K. Nevertheless though, the river comes the 9 of diamonds. Bang! We rivered the flush. Great spot for us. Do you guys check or do you lead into him here, trying to get a little bit of extra value? I decided to lead into him here, and for my entire chip stack, making it look like I missed my draw of 7-9, 7-5, something like that. I don't think he can really put me on backdoor diamonds all that often. I rep it in for around 20K effective, and the opponent snap folds, so I don't really think he was calling much of any bet there on the river, and happy I tried to get maximum value. Moving on to the next one, ace-7 offsuit from the big blind, +1 raises it up to 3,500. I put in the call here, defending my big blind. We're off to a flop in an 8.5K pot, which gives us second pair again, jack-7-5 with 2 hearts. Nothing for me to do other than check it over to +1, and he goes for a standard c-bet of 3K. I put in the call here, nothing too crazy or out of line just yet, and the turn card comes the 4 of diamonds. Check it over to him for a second time, and he checks behind, liking my chances in this hand. And the river comes the 8 of hearts, not exactly the best card. 9-10 now makes a straight. Front door heart draw now gets there as well. Should I lead into him here small? Yes, I think so. 2K is the price of poker, and he puts in the call. I turn over my ace-7 offsuit, and he shows ace-7 as well. So we're going to end up chopping that pot. Pretty strange he had ace-7 of spades there, but it makes sense given the way he played that hand. Maybe I bet a little bit bigger on the river there and win the entire pot, but oh well, it feels good to just not lose a hand in this tournament.
I know.
Pay that man his money.
Wow.
Oh man.
What's up, you guys? Here at the mid-session update with your boy Ethan, who just rivered a guy. You guys saw that hand. That was pretty dirty, but we got 45K in our stack, around 23 bigs. We'll be coming back at the break. It's like 2 in the morning, 8 hours in the sun, and I'm getting pretty tired.
We're falling asleep here.
Yeah, we're falling
I think
asleep.
we have like 2 more hours left, and then we come back tomorrow, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, we're both gonna bag.
Just not fall asleep, and then we'll get it back.
Good luck, buddy.
Me too.
Let's go. Pick up the action here on the flop. What's happening here? I have 5-3 offsuit. He has 10-6 offsuit. Well, the action folds around to me in the small blind, and the big blind only has 7K. So if I rip it all in here, which is exactly what I do, I'm either going to win his blinds and his bounty for $100, or I'm going to lose 7K in chips. And I feel like 7K for a chance at $100 is definitely odds I want to take. So we're off to a flop here, which comes queen 7-3. We've outflopped the opponent in this hand here, making a pair, but the turn card gives him a better pair, and the river doesn't help us at all. And he's going to take down that 15K pot, but really happy I decided to put it in there with the 5-3 off, trying to win his $100 bounty. Blinding down here, but we look down at ace-king offsuit in the 1500 3K blind level. I'm in the small blind, under the gun raises it up to 7K when the action folds to me. I'm ripping it all in here for just under 10 big blinds. The opponent calls with queen jack offsuit, so definitely a great spot for us. He's probably trying to get my bounty, but we're in a good spot here. Ace king versus queen jack. We just need to hold. 67K pot, and the flop comes pretty good for us. Ace king 6, bang, we flop 2 pair. Turn comes a jack of hearts. Nobody has a heart in their hand, and the river comes the king of diamonds, filling us up. We river the boat. Great spot for us. We're up to 67K and get that double up. No bounty for you, sir. The next all in we find ourselves in is pocket 6s, same blind level, and I rip it all in for 66K. End up getting 2 callers here, which is not great news, the cutoff and the button. However, the cutoff's bounty is at risk as well. We're off to a flop in a 3-way pot. The button has a chance to knock us both out. But look what they turn over. Cutoff and button both turn over ace king. They're blocking each other's outs. I haven't run the numbers yet, but I feel like I'm ahead here. I have a made hand. Both of them are drawing with 2 less outs available for each of them. Let's see the flop. Flop comes 10-7-3 with 1 club. As you can see, the button has ace king of clubs. The turn card comes a 7 of spades. Great card for us. Please don't counterfeit us with a 10 on the river, which does not come. It comes a 5 of hearts. Let's go. Triple up incoming. 163K coming our way. But oh, what's that? We also get the cutoffs bounty. And Ethan is stoked about it too.
First we got Carlos at the table. And now we got a profesh.
I'm gonna fall asleep.
Oh, he's gonna fall asleep. Oh my gosh.
2K, 4K, 4K. I look down at ace 8 offsuit. Under the gun rips it all in for 29.5K. The action folds around to me. I decide to put in the call here for the $100 bounty. Once again, the opponent turns over queen jack offsuit. We're in a great spot. The flop comes ace jack 10, so we both flop a pair. I have the best of it. Turn card comes at 8 of diamonds, giving us 2 pair. And the opponent bricks out with the 4 of diamonds on the river. 68K pot coming my way. But yet again, we get another bounty. That's number 3. $300 at nothing less. That's going to do it. We make day 2. I put all my chips in the bag. 183K after day 1. Let's go.
Hey, you have a few of those. I'm trying to get one. We got 32 people to beat, including him, to win the ring tomorrow. There's 33 left out of 247. In for 2 bullets, so 840. But you know what? First place is 15K in a ring.
Bounties, right?
I got some bounties. Got 3 of them so far, and we got a little heater at the end there. You guys want to see how day 2 goes? Make sure you hit the subscribe button and leave a like on this video. Day 2 coming out in about 2 to 3 days. It's gonna be a banger. We're gonna win a ring, so you don't want to miss it. And
Speak into existence. There we go.
yeah, and if I don't win it, he's gonna win it
One of
for
us.
sure. So go subscribe to Ethan too, and check out his video from this series. As always, good luck on the felt. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
Thanks for watching to the end of my video. Click my head below to subscribe and stay in the loop. See you next time.